Hey guys, Scott here with my very scientific DVD tier list. I spent weeks poring over this. I consulted community experts, consulted scientists, and this is what we came up with. So, number one is Nurse. Obviously, it's Nurse. Everyone knows it's Nurse. I don't even have to explain why she's the best. She floats around. She ignores all the mechanics of the game pretty much, except stealth, so I'm not even going to explain it. Everyone knows Nurse is the best. Two is another one that pretty much no one really argues with, is Billy. Kind of looks like this. He's got like little body and he's not always happy, and he's got this. Billy is probably the second best, and very few people will argue that as well. And it's not that, you know, he has really good map control and he's got very good one-shot potential. And the thing, people always go, well, he can be looped like every other killer. But the thing is, like, say, you know, you spawn here and, you know, there's a generator here, there's a generator here, or, you know, there's a pallet loop here and a pallet loop here. Billy spawns here. The first thing you do when you spawn isn't, oh, I'm just going to just boom, run to the pallet loop. Fuck generators, I'm going to hide in this pallet loop. The first thing you do is probably look for a generator. Say there's a gen here or something like that. Or there's a chest here. Oh, that's cool. So you run there, and then just bzzz, Billy's on you in like 2 seconds. And it's not that he can't get pallet loop, it's that he gets to you when you're not in a safe spot. And that's what makes him so scary. So number 3 and number 4. I'm going to say tied. They are Huntress and Spirit. And the reasons for that are Huntress has really, really good snowball potential. Her map control is not great, obviously, but she can't get looped that well because if you try to loop her an additional time due to her slower movement speed, chances are she'll be so close that you no longer have a choice. You either have to drop the pallet and try to stun her, which point she could back up at the last second, still chuck a hatchet, or she can just walk right through the pallet or just melee you through it. She has more options than you do if you wait at that point. And obviously her snowball potential is one of the best in the game. She actually has the strongest basement game in the entire game. So, you know, if here is the basement like this, here's the stairs down. If someone goes and unhooks Dwight here and they're running like here, basically all you have to do is just sit right here as Huntress and just ready a hatchet, block the staircase, throw a hatchet at the injured guy. If the injured guy runs back in here, okay, ignore him. Just throw a hatchet at this guy right here. Back up with him as he tries to clip through you. Melee him here. At this point, Dwight's trying to come back up. Oh, shit. I'm dead. Now they're both dead. She's actually better than Leatherface because she can split her focus between multiple targets. Strongest basement game in the game by far. And obviously, cross map hatchets are a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of other reasons, but Huntress is 3rd and 4th best. Spirit is going to be 3rd and 4th best as well. I think they're tied. Her chase potential is really, really good. She doesn't have, you know, like Nurse, she can't have map control and chase potential. She has to, like, choose one of them. But if you choose one or the other, you can do it really well. And I usually use my power and short burst, so the cooldown is very low as well. If you put purple add-ons on her as well, I think she's as strong as Hillbilly. With purple add-ons, there is, like, no countering her. She has more control than the survivors do at that point. And it's really, really scary going against a good Spirit. If you think Spirit is weak, you just simply have not gone against a good one, because in the right hands, she is absolutely terrifying, and you feel almost as helpless as going against a good Nurse. It's really, really demoralizing to go against a good Spirit, and I think I might actually make a guide on her or something, because I think people are still underestimating her for some reason, but she is an absolute monster in the right hands. So now we get down to ones that are a bit more of a debate. So number 4. Well, number 4 is Hag and Spirit. Number 5. I'm going to have to probably go with, and even though I'm really bad with her, I still see her value in the hands of players that are good with her. I'm going to have to go with Hag. Hag is, well, she's obviously a bit slow, and she's a bit short. Like, that's how tall she is. But the thing is, Hag is very, very good at map control if you are very smart about placing your traps. Most people play her in, like, kind of a campy playstyle. They'll hook somebody and make that area very dangerous, and don't get me wrong, that's a very effective way to play Hag. She's actually extremely strong if you do that. She's also strong if you do a 3-gen strat with her as well. But I've seen other players play Hag and just, it seems like they're just always chasing someone because they know exactly where the traps are going to be triggered. And although I myself am not very good with her and I don't really know the best placements of traps with her, the fact that I've seen people be this good with her and I know that she can control the map and chases that well, I would have to put her at 5. I feel weird putting her at 5 because, you know, I don't play her and I don't really know much about her. But I've talked to players that are, you know, better than me, and I think I would say that Hag is 5th according to pretty much everything I've seen. So after that, we got kind of a toss-up. We got Mr. Fat Boy himself, and then we got Mr. Spooky Boy himself. And I'm not really sure who is better. I would say these guys are kind of interchangeable as well. You know, I'm going to go ahead and say Myers is a little bit better than Clown. Clown is more consistent in chases, which makes him happy, but Myers is better at snowballing, which is really, really important. Clown has no snowball potential whatsoever, and even though he's more consistent, he will more consistently get a hit than Myers will, but he can't really snowball. The only thing he can do is just hit somebody once, and then they run away, and then hit somebody again. Whereas Myers, with a well-timed Evil Within 3, can down an entire team in 20 seconds. So, for that reason alone, because Myers is better at snowballing, I would say he has a little bit of an edge above Clown, but overall, they're both actually still pretty decent killers. And in the right hands, they can still do really, really well. One's more consistent, one has a greater potential to win the game just like that. So let's see. We've got 1, and then we've got 2, and then we got 3, and we got 4, we got 5, and we got 6. So who's going to be... Oh, wait, no. And we got 7 with Clown. So now we're looking at number 8. Number 8, I'm going to have to go with Doctor. Doctor is not particularly amazing in a chase. He's not like... You know, his main thing is tracking. He can find people very easily. And don't get me wrong, against like Immersed Claudettes in Swamp or something like that, that is amazing and it's super fun. This looks like Wraith shit. It's really, really fun, and it's very good to have them not be able to hide at all. But other than that, he really doesn't have much in a chase. You know, you could say, like, he has, you know, the potential to cut off power loops and stuff like that. But honestly, when you think about it, like, you know, if you've got, like, a loop here, and then you've got, like, a short loop here, and you've got the pallet here. Thing is, if you're playing, you know, Doc on something like this, and you somehow manage to get to the spot where the survivor's here, and you're here on the unsafe side, the short side, you might think, well, I can use the shock to prevent him from vaulting again. But the thing is, you can just mind game the short side anyway. You don't need the shock for it. His shock is really only good for basically short loops, and the one thing it actually is good for, I will say, is blocking notoriously bad single windows. For example, if you have, like, you know, the Ironworks of Misery right here, and you've got that bullshit window right here, and you've got the debris right here. So if you're a Doctor right here and you're chasing the survivor and they're going this way, and then you right here shock this way and you block the window, that's very strong. That's a very good use of his shock, and that's really good. But that's pretty much the only time it's ever useful. If you try to use it around the long side of a loop like this, the survivor, you know, if you're here, the survivor's just going to keep running around, and he's just going to make you look stupid. So for the most part, Doctor's power is not useful in chases at all. There are a few exceptions for cutting off very important windows and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's not very good. Hostage Doc is effective, but incredibly boring, and I hate you if you do it. And that's really it. His add-ons are strong-ish. They're really more annoying than strong, let's be real. And his power, you know, his chase power is not amazing. His map control is not amazing. He's just average. He's not bad. He's just average. After him, I would say probably... Oh, kind of run out of killers. I'd say... Oh, I forgot Wraith. I'm sorry. I'd actually put Wraith above not Trapper. Well, I would put him above Trapper. I'd put Wraith above Doctor, actually. Wraith is, actually kind of decent now. If you run Swift Hunt and Windstorm, you get decent map control. You can body block certain pallets. You can kind of get in the way. He's, actually pretty decent. Not much to say about him. He's very straightforward. But one of the best things, since he was recently buffed, is doing body block Wraith, which is basically, you know, say you're here and then you're here. You hit a survivor. Oh, he speed bursts here. And now he's running to, let's say, he's running to a 4-lane. So here's the window right here, and then you got, you know, the 4 lanes. So he's running to this window. So you hit him, he speed bursts to here, but now you use your superior windstorm speed. You see he's running there, and you run in front of him and just stand in front of the window. Now he's right here. He's like, oh shit, I can't vault this. Then you uncloak, and he's forced to go around, but then you windstorm, speed burst around him, and then he goes down. So if you play it like that, and you block problem windows and pallets and things like that, he's actually very decent. So yeah, I'd actually put him above Doctor. Who we got next? Let's go with Pig. Pig is, I put her so low on this list because she's really kind of just based around luck. And if you're very lucky, then her power is very strong. If you're unlucky, then her power is not strong at all. And that's kind of dumb, and I hate that. I hate being, you know, based on power, or like, I hate her power being based on luck. Because, you know, That's never a good thing. You want to be in control of your power. There's already a lot of luck to this game, a lot of luck with the random generation of the map, stuff like that. So I think Amanda is weak solely due to the fact that she relies on luck, and that's about it. Again, on very short loops, she can use her crouching power if you've got, like, tape and the combat traps. If you're at, one of those short loops again, if, Survivor's here and you're here, then yes, you can use your power and crouch and probably go around it. But the thing is, even in this setup, the Survivor might see you crouch and immediately start running this way, and then you're not going to make up the distance, and then you're going to be in cooldown, and her power is really not that good in a actual loop where they can see you. It's good for sneaking up on people, but the sad thing is it's better for sneaking up on people and then immediately stopping the ability and just uncloaking. It's better to do that rather than just hit an actual ambush attack. Her ambush is kind of weak. The best part of it is the no tear radius, which is actually really useful. But other than that, she's just an M1 killer that basically has a power. Her bear traps rely on luck. If you're unlucky, they'll get them off in the first try and your power basically did nothing. And then unless you're using combat straps and the videotape, even her crouching is pretty ineffective unless you're using it solely to sneak up on people. And even then, you don't use the ambush part, you just uncloak, so your tear radius comes back slowly, and then you can be full speed and full speed in an actual lunge on somebody. So, Amanda, she's pretty underwhelming, not that great. And then under her, we are running out of killers. I'm going to have to go, we only got 2 left. Leatherface. Leatherface is the brain damage cousin of Billy, and, for obvious reasons, he can't do much at loops. He has no map control. He just waddles along. For some reason, every single Leatherface in the game is just so stupid. I don't know why. It's like a cursed dumb players just pick Leatherface. But he is notorious for being really, really bad at the game. And the thing is, there's no skill involved. You can't be good at Leatherface. There's nothing you can do that's skillful with Leatherface. You get next to survivors in an open field and hold your right mouse button down and let go. That's it. That's the highest skill thing you can do with Leatherface. And that's why he's not good. He has no skill cap. You can't really be good at him. And he's weak in chases because, unlike Hillbilly, at least Hillbilly can chainsaw bait at a pallet to try to get them to be greedy, and then you might get a hit out of that. Leatherface slows down so much when charging his chainsaw, he can't even do that. If you don't use add-ons, you almost can't even hit people if you're touching them at the start of your power because he slows down so much and the chainsaw starts off so slow. So I think if they removed his slowdown while charging, he might actually be a decent killer. But as it stands right now, pretty much the only thing he's good for is camping. And you're not going to get many blood points with that, so I consider him pretty terrible because he just doesn't do much other than just camp. That's pretty much the only thing he's okay at. And unless you're in a map that's you've somehow just completely removed all the pallets and there's no windows or anything, then his power is not that great either. So, Leatherface, I'm sorry, but you're pretty shit. And finally, we come down to Freddy. Everyone knows Freddy sucks. I'm not even going to explain why he sucks. He's just bad. And here's the thing. The game is in a state now where every killer can actually 4K, and it's not a big deal. You can 4K with perkless Freddy, no problem. Obviously, that kind of relies on survivors being pretty dumb, but most survivors are dumb, and that's not uncommon to come across a game where you could do that. So the thing is, none of these killers it's like impossible to win with anymore. The game is actually pretty decently balanced at this point, but I still have to say Freddy is the worst because in comparison to the other killers, he's obviously the worst. I mean, there's no, I don't think there's any arguing that. What the hell? So that's it. That's my very scientific tier list. I didn't want to do an actual super serious one because this shit changes like every time there's a patch, and what's the point? I don't feel like going super into detail every time there's a patch. Also, people argue about this shit, and if I just draw silly stuff, it's better. So that's it. That was my very scientific tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.